Hold up. Wait a minute. Bruh. Did you hit the like button? Drop some rabbits in the chat. Let's go.
Hit that like, hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat, hit chat. Hit that like, hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. If you want the tea, come see me. Rabbit hole is the place to be for real news, not fake news. Celebrity news, breaking news around the clock. Real talk, best on the block. I rock, I rock, I rock, I rock. Real talk, best on the block. I rock, I rock. Hit that like, hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat, chit chat. Hit that like, hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop some drop 'em, drop 'em, drop 'em, drop 'em. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop 'em, drop 'em, drop 'em, drop 'em. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. True crime is my specialty. Exposing the industry. Unsolved mysteries. Sticking to reality. Fair use commentary. Talking about cults. Trying to get results. Exploring hopes. Exploring, researching, debunking, investigating, being nosy, super nosy, being messy, being shady. Rabbit hole news. That's me, the chick with ADHD. Unmedicated, but quite educated. Hit that like, hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat, hit chat. Hit that like, hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop some drop 'em, drop 'em, drop 'em, drop 'em. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop 'em, drop 'em, drop 'em, drop 'em. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Hit that like, hit that like. Let's go, let's go. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show.
Hi, everybody. Oh, y'all are like, come on, desk. Adjust yourself. Here we go. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Welcome, 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 everybody. Good morning. It is February 10th, which is Tuesday. My goodness. Happy New Year's still. Welcome, everybody. Hope you guys are having a great, wonderful morning. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Lord have mercy. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, we are 5 years in. Feels like such a marriage. Am I ready for a divorce? I'm not really sure yet. I'm not really sure. Yes, we're 5 years in, y'all. We are, well, I think we started 5 years ago on the 6th. So we're a little bit late on the 5 year, but just by a couple days. I mean, I got the notification from YouTube. So I was like, well, I guess it's safe to say we're 5 years in now officially since YouTube notified us. So welcome, welcome, guys. We definitely have to hit the ground running because we have so much to review. Shout out to everybody. You said no divorce. Am I ready? I know, right? Shout out to Articulate. Has it really been 5 years? Yeah, it's really been 5 years. Isn't it crazy? I said, am I ready to get a divorce? I don't know, y'all. I have had some thoughts about the where we're at right now in our relationship. We shall see if I'm about to get a divorce or not. Actually, baby Bunny's birthday is, she's gonna be 4. When does she look at this? I can't even think straight. Listen. I'm 21 still, okay? In my mind, in my head. She's gonna be 1, not 1. Oh my God. 4. She'll be 4 years old on March 1st. That's where I got the 1 in there. She'll be 4 years old on March 1st. So we're still working on the potty, okay? So as soon as she gets to going, we gotta start putting her in, preschool, and get all that stuff going and everything to get her going, which will allow me more room and time to stream and really do some changes on this channel. And I'm really talking about changes, but we'll talk about that later on. I can't really get into that because I got a whole little thing outlined. I have some other announcements to make about that, but we're going to get into Nancy and everything that's happening there. We'll schedule a separate live for all the next plans and everything. So Shauna, thank you so much for being a member for 30 months. Shout out to you, my love. Thank you. 30 months. My goodness. OG status for sure. Pamela, Lady Pamela, 26 months. New church thing was sus. Was not sus. Just took a minute. Okay. We got to review the church thing too, because yesterday more information came about the church thing. Shout out to B Tim, who says, thank you for the 5 B Tim. What do you think of the change in stories of the church from it being local church to now a New York online church? I didn't even hear the New York online church part yet. So I read an article yesterday after my live, and I have a screenshot of this article where, well, first of all, let's be very clear. There was the thing that SF put out there that said that the church hadn't seen her. And then there's this, church guy or whatever, the congregation, they got together and they gave a prayer, touched the hearts of the individuals who have Nancy type of situation, praying for the individuals. So in my mind, I'm like, well, is that the church that she attends, or does she attend a different church? But then she's going online. And then I'm also hearing that there was like a group of individuals that she kind of got herself with, and they would attend this online service or whatever. So somebody, who was the last person to see this woman? Clearly it wasn't the church. That's what it sounds like. I don't know. So B Tim, thank you so much for the $5. We got to get into this. And again, guys, thank you, Lady Pamela, for your long membership. And Shauna, thank you so much. Okay. So you said I just saw it on Reddit, and where people seem to agree that the ransom note has nothing to do with Mrs. Nancy being missing. I must have missed the memo. Is that the new consensus? Well, what is the new consensus? That's what I want to know. Because I'm going to tell you guys, the FBI is saying one thing, right? No ransom, no problem talking. I mean, and I'm going to go straight to Abby Blabby because she's been on the beat of this thing as well. Shout out to Abby Blabby, guys. If you guys have not checked her out, please do so on Facebook. I follow her as well as TikTok. I wish she would. I don't know if she's here on YouTube. I should contact her one of these days. She seems like a really cool person. Okay. She's been in my chat before, but shout out to her. So 14 hours ago, the FBI released a statement. They said, for more than a week, FBI agents, analysts, and professional staff have worked around the clock to reunite Nancy Guthrie with her family. The FBI is not aware of any continued communication between the Guthrie family and suspected kidnappers. Why? I always have to kind of wonder, why does the FBI release things? Why do they say the things that they say, right? But the agent did tell us in that press conference that sometimes family members can talk to these people. They only give a little bit of advice here and there, but they don't really like interject themselves like that, which I was like, well, that's weird. I don't know if I necessarily believe that, but maybe they do. I don't know. I've never been in that situation. So he says the FBI is not aware of any continued communication between the Guthrie family and suspected kidnappers, nor have we identified a suspect or a person of interest in this case at this time. Okay. And then we see them out there, out there in the homes, talking to everybody in the neighborhoods and everything. I mean, they're doing what the FBI is supposed to do, right? Abby Blabby further posted something, and I thought this was interesting because I also saw other creators say the same thing. Abby says this is probably some troll, but look at the comments from Marcus Guy. He said this on several of Savannah Guthrie's posts. It was reported to Pima County just in case. So people started noticing that there was this guy in various social media posts. Marcus Gonzalez, don't forget about tomorrow. These are social media posts under Savannah's page. Okay. Don't forget about tomorrow. Now look at the time. This is May 2nd, 2025. Don't forget about tomorrow. Don't forget about tomorrow. April 17th, 2025. So I don't know if this is somebody who's just using a troll account and then just posting on every picture. Don't forget about tomorrow. Don't forget about tomorrow. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking, well, is this about money? Is this somebody telling her, don't forget that tomorrow the money is due? And then they're going to historic posts from 2025. Some guy named Marcus. Here's another one. Don't forget about tomorrow. And notice how they all say 20. I mean, this person could have taken these pictures within the 20-hour time frame, right? Don't forget about tomorrow. This is May 11, 2025. Don't forget about tomorrow. What's happening? Here's April 11, 2025, where she's posting pictures of her and maybe, Annie and Cam, her and her siblings, right? Don't forget about tomorrow. Okay. Autograph. Mostly what God does is love you. Savannah Guthrie's new children's book showcased the beauty of God's creation. Don't forget about tomorrow. Again, don't forget about tomorrow. It's the same. It's the same. Is it the same account? God knows. I don't know. And they went through all of her, postings from 2025 to say the same thing. What why don't forget about tomorrow? Could very well be a troll. What do you guys make of that? Let me know what you guys are saying. Let's see. Yeah. I don't know what don't forget about tomorrow means. Let's see. I'm sure that we have verified the church member calling. I am sure they have verified the church member calling or not. I think they have a suspect, and that suspect has lawyered up, so they can't proceed without a definite evidence. Definite evidence. Okay. Tucson Police Chief quits. He's going to start working in Piedmont County. Yeah, I saw that. They like retired, but they retired to a new position. That was kind of weird too, for sure. The sheriff. Yes, y'all are saying the same thing in the chat. Okay, hold up. Let me see. Sent email saying she was supposed to meet with friends, not church. I saw this too. Thank you, James. Shout out to you. Thank you. Congratulations on a very successful 5 years. Thank you, James. Love you. Thank you, James. Shout out to James. I think it's usually is the FBI says one thing and then the local police says something else. Apparently, Tommaso was the last person known to have seen Nancy alive. That doesn't mean he's guilty. Yeah, right? Has the police contacted the church members yet to verify any statement? I don't. I would think that this is where they would be ahead, but hey, man, I am trying to understand. I don't know, man. I have not checked out the profile. I think it's just one of those dummy profiles that just kind of started out and then they start telling her, don't forget about tomorrow. Well, the only thing I can think of if you're going back to historical 2024 posts is tomorrow is the ransom. The ransom is due. Don't forget about tomorrow. I don't know what to make of it. And I think, you know what is the consensus? Is that everybody is saying the same thing. Don't forget about tomorrow, not about. Don't forget tomorrow. Thank you. You're right. Today is not the only thing important, but tomorrow can bring beauty as well. And now, Alyssa, is that a direct quote? Is that from somewhere? And you're right. It's not don't forget about tomorrow. It's don't forget tomorrow. You're right. Is that supposed to quote something? Like the deadline, right? Don't forget tomorrow. And well, Matt Chatter, they're making these posts from 2025. Don't forget tomorrow. The Today Show always does the show. Right. And you notice how the person, this troll person, is literally posting on Mother's Day's posts. Right. So, like, if you go down here, you could see they do a Mother's Day show. You're right. And it's all like family related, Don't forget tomorrow. This Marcus Gonzalez. What? Certain events. Family. So that's the question that I have is what why? Why? Why would they do that? Are they just trolling? Listen, somebody already got arrested for doing the most. I heard that she met a regular guy and a group friend, that's right, to watch online church, and that was streamed from New York. There's what B. Tim said. New York, and Savannah would attend that service in New York. They called when she didn't show at the friend's home, right? You said, no, just me seeing something else. You said, no, that's a troll. Ain't it crazy to be trolling in situations like this when like this is like an active investigation, Like, why would you even do that? Why do that? And ultimately, like, people have been looking at different things. So 16 hours ago, there's some mention in Nancy Guthrie's group about an older septic tanks and bunkers. I wanted to share this photo about a comment made by a history teacher. Look at this. History teacher said, someone on here mentioned the other day that they thought their mother probably was right under their nose. That got me to thinking and researching. Being an ex high school history teacher, So I pulled up a Pima County Co map from 1960 that showed all of the underground bunkers in Pima Co that were either under homes, businesses, schools, even today. The Google site gave an archive county reference number to the map. Google even pulled up a video on the Titan missile silo that is now a museum with a vast underground network of halls and rooms ventilated with electricity. The underground silo is closed off to museum visitors. It's a long shot, but whoever has her hidden probably has her close to them. So they can come and go and still mingle around the community to gauge the situation. This was someone that knows her and or the family. Wouldn't you agree with that? Isn't this somebody that knows her and or the family? This post is this is coming from a ex high school teacher who decided to pull all of the 1960 he's got maps of these under bunker museum stuff. Like, it's crazy work. So then it further goes. He says this was someone that knows her and or the family, familiar with the area and probably living there too. You find Miss Guthrie, you find who took her. That's my reasoning. What do you guys think? I thought tomorrow I would cross-reference the Pima bunker map. There's a bunker map. And family members' homes in Tucson using the county tax rolls, which is open information, a long shot, but thinking out of the box. Thoughts? And then they posted these pictures, yo. Look at this. I mean, listen. It's something else. Hold up. So give you guys an idea. Literally, they go down a rabbit hole. They do. They do. You said, if we get the trail number, can we find the owner of the what? I don't know. You said that's the only thing that makes sense in the Guthrie case. It's somebody knows them, somebody keeping her close. Could it be somebody? Could it be somebody in the neighborhood? So this high school teacher, ex high school teacher, decides to pull some of these like maps and stuff like that, right? It is on the other side of the property from where they were televised checking with the polls. So there's like underground, older septic tanks and bunkers. And this is the photo he wanted to share because of the comment made by the history teacher. Okay? So that's the house and just some paperwork there. And he says that in those homes, businesses, and schools, even today, the Google sites gave archive county reference numbers to the map. Google even pulled up a video of the Titan missile silo that is now a museum with vast underground networks of halls and rooms ventilated with electricity. The underground silo is close off to museum visitors. It's a long shot, but whoever has her hidden probably has her very close to them, so they can come and mingle, engage what's going on. And this was someone that knows her or the family. You can't think of it. There can't be anything else, man. Like, this is literally crazy work. You said, let me go down. You said, I think every time she's eating out with her mom, it's Rex. Okay. You said, do you know if Annie's neighbors seen her there or leaving Annie's place? Well, when was the last time that the neighbors actually seen her? That's really what it comes down to, because I just can't wrap my head around the situation here. And then you have a whole different story from the church, right? You have the cops that tell you one thing, and then you have a whole different story from the church. And this was ringing some red flags, I think, from the beginning, guys, from the beginning. So Nancy Guthrie was supposed to go to Powell's house to watch church service on the day she was reported missing. Family source. Nancy was supposed to go to a friend's house to watch a streamed, this is what BTM said, New York church service on the day she was reported missing. A source close to the family has claimed. The source claimed to Fox News changes the narrative that the 84-year-old was reported missing after failing to physically appear at a Tucson church on February 1st. That's different. Now, why were we given that information? That's the question. Chat, I need to know what you guys think. Why were we given that information? And then, I mean, I have a hard time believing that police didn't know that. Like, police didn't know that, that she was going online through a New York church service with a friend. But why would they give us the information that she and mind you, they were out there. There was a press conference that Sunday night, very small one. Not a lot of us saw it. Then there was a press conference the following day. Why were we given one part of the information and not the other, or just misinformation? You said, "How do you know that the police didn't know?" We just right. And that's the thing, clearly, Shelly. It's like I have to wonder, did they know, or did they just not tell us? Or maybe they willfully gave us wrong information. Maybe that's what it is. I can't get over that too. It's like, so, and I don't expect, like I said, I don't expect them to tell us the truth about anything. Like, I get it, but I mean, to say something like that, that really throws off people even in the timeline, you know? I don't know, man. Didn't the siblings tell Ellie that the church intel on Nancy? I don't know. Why withhold this information? This is what I don't understand. Exactly. Last real proof of life. Did Uber actually drive her? Bizarre, so many levels. Yeah, man. All of this is just so bizarre in so many levels. Like, was there when did the Uber driver see her? And anyways, I don't know, man. But okay, let's keep going. So the source claims to Fox News changes the narrative that Nancy, 84 years old, was reported missing after failing to physically appear at a Tucson church on February 1st. Instead, the insider said Nancy was part of a group of worshipers who would gather at a friend's house to tune into services broadcast by a New York church attended by Today host daughter Savannah. The group's traditions date back to the COVID pandemic. Okay, so they just kind of kept this going. So the pal contacted Annie Guthrie, Nancy's other daughter, when Guthrie's matriarch failed to show up. There has been no trace of Nancy, 84 years old, since she was reported missing from her $1 million Catalina Foot Homes home, and the search is now entering into its 10th day. There's been no trace of her. Hold up. I just reread that. On Monday night, a second purported ransom demand of $6 million in Bitcoin by 5 p.m. We don't know the time. People have said it's local time, but I don't think the time zone was really clearly identified in the ransom. Expired without payment. The second deadline expired after Thursday's ransom demand of $4 million was not met. The TMZ founder claims that the note was sent to his network and two Arizona news networks contained that he described as a stark message about consequences. That's all I will say, he told CNN Monday. But it's chilling when you read the sentence. It is short and to the point. He claims that the note contained the line, "It's in everyone's interest to have this completed as soon as possible." The note claimed cops wouldn't be able to help. I don't like that. See, he told a lot and stated Nancy would be returned within 12 hours of payment being made, according to Levin. The FBI said it wasn't aware of any communication between Guthrie's family and Nancy's alleged kidnappers. Savannah issued a desperate plea on social media late last night, saying that she believes her mom, who has mobility issues and ailing health, was still out there. We believe our mom is still there. And she was taken. We don't know where. Okay, so this is the service that they had. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. Like, this makes no sense whatsoever. It just doesn't. None of it. So then I went back to Abby Blabby too, and I was like, wait a minute. Even a federal agent whose article she put in here on her website, even a federal agent was like, I don't know about this, man. Former FBI doubts this is actually a kidnapping. I have not seen, and maybe there has been, but y'all let me know because they got these agents all over. She did. I'll check it out. I have not seen a former agent deliberately say, I don't think that this was a kidnapping or anything like that. It's off, but I'm kind of curious to know. Ellie says, comment, the one part of the story that hasn't changed was Annie and her family had dinner with, that's right. That's probably one thing that has not changed. Had dinner with her Saturday night. They don't deny that. So we know for sure it's the last time I saw her from their perspective. So they went out to eat. Did anybody else see them? Is there cameras of them eating together? I'm assuming at a restaurant or something. I'm thinking, I don't know. Something must have captured something. Right? Oh, Lord, oh, Lord. You said the message from Savannah with her siblings. She looked so distraught. And then yesterday she had makeup and her hair done. It was a 180. Yeah, I mean, she looked a little bit different. She did. I think, sometimes people do that to cope, but I don't know, man. You said, why not put up a bigger reward like 500,000? Likely to get tips instead of a church donation of 25 and FBI added 25K. So it's only 50K. No, Wonder Woman, I think the FBI is 50K. I heard that through another person that they were going to add more. So the amount might be different total. Some may write about this whole thing. Some may write. You said BJ's video said that there was a 6 million Bitcoin transfer. So who is that? There was? Well, let's see. Hold up, y'all. Shout out to BJ. Let me see if we can watch a little bit of a short. Hold up. And then Ashley just uploaded a video too. Oh man, this is heating up, dude. Like, but it's none of it is making sense. That's the thing. Is like, it's not like, oh my God, it's heating up. Like, we're discovering all kinds of things. It's not making sense. Hold up. Let's see. Oh, she did on the ransom. Let me see. Did she provide us information that she saw? Hold on. Let's see if we can get started. Right over here. Shout out to BJ, guys.
Dollar demand, but not in US dollars.
Right.
No, in a cryptocurrency, like the king of cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin. Well, it was reported yesterday, again, by Harvey Levin, TMZ. I know y'all don't really like him. Frankly, personally, I don't really like him that much either. But and I don't really, frankly, I really don't trust too much what TMZ or any tabloid or any news source says because they often and routinely get stuff wrong. That being said, I mean, we are kind of talking to a source that received, not to, about, I've never talked to him. We are talking about a source that did allegedly receive one of these ransom notes. So they do have exclusives and stuff like that. And so that's why I do take somewhat seriously the things that they say, at least.
That's right. So the only people that saw her were the family. I don't know, y'all. So the only witnesses are the family? Is that what we're saying? Okay.
Under advisement and into consideration. So yesterday was being reported by TMZ. Yesterday, again, was the deadline, the ultimate last deadline. Not no, oh, if you don't pay by this, then you get another No. Like, presumably they were going to unalive Nancy if the Bitcoin amount wasn't paid. Well, I've done some digging on this family. Come to find out, they actually are seemingly fairly wealthy. And it's not only just because Savannah Guthrie is a Today Show host, but they do have some coal money, some old money, coal money. But we'll get into that in another video. It's just $6 million. I mean, if you have it, I understand that's a lot of money. But if you do have it, I understand you would most people happily give it away, even if it's not right, even if it's not fair, to save their mom's life. So yesterday, TMZ was reporting because they had the Bitcoin wallet address from that original ransom note that they
That's
got.
right.
So they were kind of checking in on that Bitcoin wallet yesterday, and they were like saying, exclusively reporting, the Bitcoin wallet yesterday, and yesterday was Monday, remained empty. It remained at $0. And so that
Hold up. You said breaking news, NBC News, new security camera image shows subject in disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. Shh. All right. Let me go pull that up right now. Hold up.
the inference there was the family hasn't paid the ransom, and they hadn't paid the ransom because they haven't received proof of life. They hadn't received proof that these kidnappers actually even had Nancy, alive or not. And so these were all the things that were being speculated. Well, speaking of speculation, it's now being speculated by at least one person on Twitter.
Hold up.
They did pay the ransom. Let me show you what I
Oh,
mean.
wow.
And again, y'all, please, this is speculation. I am not a Bitcoin expert by any means. I'm not a cryptocurrency wallet expert by any means. However, since Savannah Guthrie came on her own Instagram account yesterday, asking for the public's help, asking for our assistance in locating Nancy, either alive or otherwise, I do think that we have now been invited fully by the family into this investigation. And so I'm going to be sharing the things that I find and I see in case it can be helpful.
Let me stop right here, BJ. Shout out to BJ, but I think I found it. Hold up. New security cam footage image shows subject in disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. Oh, Lord have
Not a
mercy.
shape of a person or a size of anyone that would say, that could be him. They
Hold
just
up.
don't know who it
Right.
might be,
So they
which
need
is
the
why they're going to
public's
put it out.
help.
Again, the person is masked and apparently has some sort of bag or backpack.
Let me see if I can find
And to
it.
be clear, Kate, we would not be reporting this, and certainly the FBI would not be releasing this if they haven't been in touch with the Guthrie family. It's our understanding that that process has happened. So the family has been certainly, it sounds like that they're aware of where this investigation is, and obviously that's a key part of this as well. Sensitivities to them as much as they've been through, of course.
Absolutely, Tom. Let me turn to our Chief Justice and National Affairs correspondent, Kelly O'Donnell, who is in Tucson. She's in Nancy Guthrie's neighborhood. Kelly, you've been hearing us talk about this. This could be coming out any time now. What are you hearing there on the
they
ground?
don't
What are
have it
you
out
seeing
yet.
in terms of any law enforcement activity today?
Well, good to be with you, Kate. And we've been working alongside the colleagues there at the desk, trying to get to our sources about.
So they don't have it out yet because I'm looking. I don't see it out yet. So they are going to release new footage of a potential person. Okay. They are going to release new footage of a potential person. So it is. Thank you so much. Shout out to the one. Shout out to my boo, the one. Because we do have some breaking news. We're still waiting for the footage to be released, just so people are aware. But let me see something real quick. And shout out to BJ, guys. I just played a snippet of her. We're gonna go back a little bit to review that, but let's see if we can get the footage of this person or persons or person who could have been involved in this.
This kind of an update that, again, is about a subject in the investigation, someone that authorities would like to better identify, be able to talk to. And this is that point where engaging the public. We saw from our friend and colleague, Savannah, her message, the Fourth Family video, where she was talking directly to the public about wanting people to provide information or tips. Someone somewhere may know something, and that could be the kind of information that law enforcement can then take action on. We've also seen the collaboration between the FBI and a company called Clear Channel, which is in the advertising business. And across the Southwest region, from California to New Mexico to Arizona to Texas, there are billboards being shown in public to encourage the public to try to come forward with information. So often in these vexing cases, it is ultimately a tip. Someone who overheard something, knew something, the whole range of possibilities can help direct law enforcement resources. They are considerable resources here. In addition to Pima County, which is, of course, the home-based agency here, FBI has brought in personnel from Phoenix and from other field offices around the country, especially those with special expertise, those who know how to review digital data, and this kind of photo would fit in that category. The cell phone data that can be so difficult to sort through, but ultimately can be very compelling if they can identify numbers they can associate with this case. So this is a critical point that allows the public to be welcomed back into this process in a new way with new information that, as our colleagues there have said, we expect to see made public in a matter of minutes. We've been talking to sources all morning to get a sense of what this means and where it's headed. And so we want to be careful to say this is one step. it is something that can add value, and perhaps it will produce more information. And of course, the work goes on. There's a 24-hour command center here in Tucson where FBI federal personnel, agents, and staff and experts of various job descriptions are at work around the clock going through tips and digital.
All right, so let me mute her for a minute because shout out again to the one ABC News. So live updates, law enforcement to release, they haven't released it yet, to release surveillance photo of potential subject in Nancy Guthrie's investigation. Okay, breaking news, guys. Make sure you guys share it out and let everybody know there's going to be a release of potential subject, okay, in Nancy Guthrie's investigation. Again, Nancy Guthrie, 84 years old, the mother of the co-host of the Today Show, Savannah Guthrie, was dropped off at her home. This is what we were told after eating dinner. It sounds like at one of her kids' homes. And there is going to be footage released. We don't know anything yet. What time? 8 minutes ago. This is the latest update. Law enforcement is expected to release a surveillance photo showing a potential subject in the ongoing Nancy Guthrie investigation as soon as this afternoon, according to two senior law enforcement officials. Okay. So two senior law enforcement officials. Yeah, so we don't have anything yet. Now, let me see. This is the full article here, my friends. Authorities to release surveillance photos of potential subject to Nancy Guthrie case. All right. So, when you look at Nancy's house from like this view, it's a little bit different, right? Like an aerial view, but you get to see all the lush and the cacti and everything. Anyways, the upkeep looks like it would be a lot. Okay, so authorities are expected to release a surveillance photos showing a potential subject in the investigation into the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. Okay, so there is that. The photo could be released as soon as this afternoon. This is what the senior law enforcement official said. Now, Guthrie's family reported the 84-year-old missing around noon on February 1st. After that, she did not show up for virtual. Notice how they changed the narrative to the articles. Now it says virtual church service. She was last seen the previous night around 9:45 p.m. after having dinner with her daughter at her daughter's house, Annie, in Tucson, Arizona, according to Pima County Sheriff's Office. Okay, so we know that the search is now involving state and federal law enforcement officials. 3 outlets received a ransom note, which included 2 local and then TMZ. And so we are expected to, at some point, sometime noon, they will be releasing a surveillance photo that could show the potential subject of who they're looking at this point. That is the breaking news that we have. They have not released it yet. I don't know if it's noon Tucson time, which we got maybe about 2 hours before that, just so people are aware.
Is a significant development, a step forward in this investigation that's been going on for nearly 10 days now.
And as Jonathan and I know from a case you and I covered so well in the Boston Marathon bombing investigation, it was a hat. Johar Tsarnaev, who was eventually sentenced to death for his involvement in actually placing one of the bombs, he was wearing a white hat. He was known in the FBI system as White Hat. Who is this guy? And so what we saw there was that there was a couple of backpacks, because they were carrying the bombs, had to be substantial in size. That was critical to the investigation. So maybe here somebody points out it's this type of backpack. Or if it's a rare backpack, it was only sold in this area at this certain time. That can help investigators. Of course, they're doing reverse image searches and all the tools the FBI has and reporters have to pore over all of this. But I think, as Jonathan was suggesting there, which is really important in these investigations, sometimes somebody just sees something that sticks out. Or I remember my relative or friend and I haven't talked to them in a couple of days. As we've been reporting for a week now, Kate, this is a solvable case. There is not a lot of evidence and not a lot of clues, but there are some. And over time, you develop them. Let's hope for the government.
They said this is a solvable case, right? Then what is the issue? I would think so too. You would think somebody would want to return somebody's mom and stuff like that. Yes, Los Federales, we just broke that right now. We said that. Shout out to the one who brought it in. For those that are coming new and through, there is a photo, an image that is set to be released sometime around noon. I believe it's going to be Mountain Time. Of what they believe is a potential suspect, or excuse me, not suspect, subject. They're not saying suspect, subject into the investigation of Nancy Guthrie. So yes, they're releasing. They haven't released it yet. There is going to be a photo or an image, potentially of somebody who is a potential subject to this case. And that's what and I'm using that word, a potential subject. I think it's important to use those words because, from there we can walk out and say they're the prime suspect. And that's not even what they're saying, right? We have to be very careful. So yes, that is the breaking news so far that we received while we were live. This is just so insane. Now, somebody said in the chat, and I missed the comment. I'm so sorry because the comments were going. I need to start the comments. Somebody said that there was a reporter who said, I think it was Brian Enton, actually. I think I heard that Tommaso has not been seen. Tommaso Cioni has not been seen since like last week or something like that. That they don't know where he's at. I don't know if that's necessarily the case. Maybe he's just kind of like, out of sight, out of mind. I mean, listen, people can't even find D4VD right now. Maybe he's just kind of staying close to his phone just in case. You know what I mean? So it could very well be like, I just don't want to be photographed because everybody's trying to photograph me and I'm going to stay out. And he's just kind of like, better lay low type of situation. Better not be around. Better not be around that type of situation. You said, we need the people from the Don't F with Cats on this. Oh, Lord have mercy. That Don't F with Cats. Yeah, bring them all, right? Oh, those were the sleuths of all across the world. Don't F with Cats. Yes, he's not been seen. That's who I heard it from, too. It was a direct quote. Like I said, maybe he's laying low or something else is going on. Hey, Sylvia. So there's a lot. I mean, this is amazing news. Now, here's the question that I have about this news, because I do have to wonder. Every time law enforcement starts putting things out, it does kind of make you wonder is whether they've hit a dead end in their investigation. And so now they need help. And so I need help. And so we need help. We need to release this out here to everybody. Just like when it was the camp footage, right? They need help. So they're releasing this new footage that is meant for all of us to review and check it out. The subject could be another person like the LA guy who just wanted some coins. I hope not. I hope that it's somebody who's got some really good information, or at least that some of us would be able to identify. So again, for those that are coming in, so authorities are set to release a surveillance photo of potential subject in the Nancy Guthrie case. That's all that we know. Apparently, the senior officers let the media know. They're expected to release a surveillance photo showing a potential subject in the investigation into the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, Savannah's mom. And this is according to 2 senior law enforcement officials. The photo could be released as soon as this afternoon or maybe before. I'm keeping my eye on the streets of the Twitter, because that's probably where it's going to land, or the TMZs, because that's also where it lands as well. So this is what was said. I think that I don't know, man. This feels like such a ping pong game. And let me explain why. I go back and forth on, is this a hoax? Was she really kidnapped? Was she not? Well, here's the evidence that it could be. Well, now you have officers releasing this. Well, they're offering a reward. Well, this is going on. But then you got Savannah that did a video. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like we going back and forth. Who is this person of interest, or not interest? Excuse me. Who is the subject that they believe? And that's, I don't know about y'all. Like my emotions are like a ping pong. Like I'm going back and forth on this. What do y'all think? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Oh, American Honey. Yes, I'm blessed, man. We got a beautiful community here. Shout out to all the members. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button, please, and thank you. Appreciate it. Carla, how are you, love? You said incompetent. It's what it's showing. It's showing something, man, because it's going back and forth. Where's the footage coming from? Is it from the Circle K? Because that was the other thing that people were saying. Is it a Circle K situation? right? I don't know, man. I don't know. This makes no sense. Now, I'm going to go back a little bit because I do want to go back. And I think that, I mean, it's good breaking news. And hopefully, the sleuths of the internet of the sleuths can get together and review this photo. And I'm saying, it's like, I know sometimes people online, we get a lot of ish sometimes, because it's like, wow, you guys are doing this. I get it. But sometimes it's been times where people have gotten it wrong. I mean, I think about Gabby Petito. Then you have those that insert themselves in situations where it's like, why you do that? So you never really know what's up. So my money's on TMZ getting the footage first. There you go. They always seem to get the breaking info in their connections. Because they've inserted themselves. We won't say any. This is how I see it. Harvey over here, with his little suntan. We won't say anything more as long as you guys give us the info so that we could release it, right? You've got to work a deal type of situation, right? A negotiation of sorts, allegedly, in my opinion. You said they will do I hope that they didn't say anything about a press conference yet. I'm keeping my eye on that, and I have yet to see a press conference. You know what I mean? Listen, Eric, let me stop, but let me get into this. I'm gonna see if I'm gonna go check on PIMA, FBI, TMZs, all these places to figure out if anybody has released anything.
See, in case it can be helpful.
Hold up.
Now, this is Ashley from 4th grade. I never knew about this lady. I never followed her. This tweet only has 8,000 views, but
wait,
I did find it to be very.
Her name is Ashley from 4th grade. That is a really cute online social media name, because we all know an Ashley, and we've all been in the 4th grade, at least that I know of. I think I know an Ashley of the 4th grade. That's cute. That's really cute. Side note.
Very interesting. She says, with an unverified $6 million Bitcoin blockchain picture surfacing, I gave myself a 5-minute PhD in Bitcoin. Okay, so she's telling you she's not an expert. I wonder if the ransom wallet was changed in letter 2, or Nancy Guthrie's ransom moved to a less traceable, less risky form of crypto, or multiple smaller transactions or wallets were used. And then she reminds us from the family's most recent video of all of them together, where they said, we understand. So I just want to take a look at this picture that she posted. And this is purportedly some representation of Bitcoin transactions that happened yesterday. Something important to understand about Bitcoin. And I do want to kind of get this out before we go through all her pictures, because she isn't an expert and neither am I, but I at least know some things. A Bitcoin itself, one Bitcoin, is worth several $1,000s. I think maybe 60. Let me actually look. How much is one Bitcoin worth in dollars?
And literally, we were talking about we read a Bitcoin article about why it's so easy for scammers and fraudsters to use Bitcoin, what the benefit is, how hard it is to really trace it back. They even had in the article a professor from I can't remember what law school or whatever, talk a little bit about that, and his field is in criminology, how difficult it is. And some of us aren't from the, when we think of ransom, when we think of kidnappings and stuff like that, we're not from that age. We are from the old school age of, you leave 100,000, 20 on mark, this on mark, that on mark, and you put it all together, and then I'm thinking of like the movie Rush Hour. And that's what I'm thinking of. And that's how they do it. But no, the Bitcoin is completely different. I just don't understand that language. I don't. Shout out to BJ.
$67,000 or $67,941. So almost $68,000. So if you want to buy one Bitcoin, it would be $68,000 at the time of the recording of this video. Of course, it goes up and down all the time, but one Bitcoin is worth a lot more than $1. So if you're going to do a Bitcoin transaction, it's not going to line up one Bitcoin to $1, right? This is $6,002,670, and it's 85.2 Bitcoins.
Wow.
So this, I don't exactly know. We need CoffeeZilla on the scene. But this is being posted in a speculative way, unverified Bitcoin blockchain transaction of about $6 million.
You said, I know Sylvia understands Bitcoin. Shout out to Sylvia. 68,000 per coin? I don't know, man. This sounds like, and I know it's going to bring the Mexican side of me, but that sounds like a tanda. You'd be like, what is that? Yeah, put a one in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. It's like, man, you guys suddenly got all this money, and it's like, where's this coming from? What is going on? What do you guys make of this? And thank you, Amy Boston, for your 5-month membership. Shout out to you, love. Prayers for Nancy. I mean, ultimately, that's what we have to do is just, pray. If you believe, or send some positive vibes for some kind of an outcome, man, because it's like, this is crazy. That's crazy, man. You said Annie has power of attorney on husband RN until March 2026. What? Annie has a power of attorney on her husband right now until March 20. What do you mean a power of attorney on her husband? I'm so confused. Where did you learn that? And tell me more. You said it actually dropped, so it's not the same anymore. You said watched it going on to be a photo of someone covered up so much you can't even identify them, right, Carly B? Well, it means if we're gonna identify like a location, is it gonna be the Circle K that everybody's talking about? Because if that's the case, then y'all were like right on the money on this one. Thank you. You're thinking about Dumb and Dumber. I'm thinking about Dumb and Dumber leaving the suitcase at the airport, then Lloyd Christmas comes and picks it up. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Because how would you do that on a Bitcoin thing? My goodness. So, well, you're close, because that's what Sylvia said. This a little bit. One Bitcoin is 69,672. Okay, that's interesting. I think it's because of what was put out there, Vicky. Now, this is a good point. Call me confused. No, because I'm just as confused. The national and local news are indicating that if the ransom amount is in USD or Bitcoin, may I ask how we know it's Bitcoin? I think it's because of what TMZ had said. TMZ had put out Bitcoin too. Dang. So what is thing about releasing the photos of a masked person wearing backpack or tools? Well, are they masked? We don't know. Are they masked? You said Harvey and Mark online talking about the random note an hour ago. The ransom note an hour ago. They're like going on a ransom, what is it? World tour of the note while we're waiting for this
in
picture.
about 85 Bitcoin. And this allegedly, supposedly happened around 11:49 a.m.
That's right.
yesterday. So the speculation here, and it's just, it's posed as a question. I think it is a question. She's like, I wonder if in that second ransom note that was sent, not the one sent to TMZ, but in the second ransom note sent elsewhere, if the instructions on where to wire the money, the Bitcoin money, changed. It would make sense if that were the case, because they already did a second deadline. So maybe, the second deadline, they would want to put a different location for the money to go.
Mhm.
Also, it is possible that they were, the kidnappers or whatever were concerned that having the identity or whatever of the Bitcoin wallet that they originally had put out would maybe get hacked or tracked or something in the
Right.
days and days that went by between the first and second deadline. These are
Now, Sylvia, who understands Bitcoin, it gets sent into a blockchain wallet, which cannot be opened only by the individuals that has two codes. If you don't put the correct code in, I believe after 5 minutes, it closes and it's sealed. See? Do you see what I'm saying? Sylvia, she knows about the Bitcoin. Shout out to Sylvia. I will never understand Bitcoin. I'm a millennial. Yeah, we just talked about that. There is, and that's the thing, is like TMZ had put out the Bitcoin. That's why we are saying it's Bitcoin. Yes, and all transactions are on blockchain like a ledger. That's right. Y'all, I'm going to learn about Bitcoin while we're covering this story, literally. Mark told Harvey the government can monitor it. Okay, so let me go ahead and shout out again to BJ. You guys, make sure you guys go support BJ. She's been covering this situation to the fullest. I want to go, what is it? The two disgruntled men podcasts that he released this on. Two disgruntled men. No, it's two angry men. Two angry men. Lord have mercy. I don't know if I can. I have to have the. Okay, that's LA Mag. He'll be like, why are you so mean, Rabbit? I'm sorry. The Two Disgruntled Men podcast. Okay, new footage. Here it is, 20 hours ago. Update. We saw this one. So Harvey and I guess Harvey and Mark talk Nancy Guthrie 2 days ago. Is that what it is? I think it's LA Mag then. It is LA Mag. Okay. See this short real quick. I know that what's his name owns LA Mag, right? Oh,
Some demand, and if so, what kind of currency?
Well, they're asking for it in Bitcoin, and
Correct.
they gave a Bitcoin address, and it's a legit address. The problem with Bitcoin is you just cannot find out who it's going to. And so,
well, they've got, that's where I push back a little bit, because I know from actually 2 cases I have right now that they don't want you to know this, but the government now has ways. They've got a front row seat, for lack of a better term. They've told me it's like watching a marathon. They can watch it go as it goes down the chain, so to speak, and they can generally follow it to a wallet. Does the letter itself make a ransom demand, and if so, what kind of currency?
Well, they're asking for it in Bitcoin, and
Correct.
they gave a Bitcoin address.
all right. Be quiet. Okay. So let me move over here and let me see if I can find a little bit to see where we're at.
It would be easier for them to help if they knew what they were looking for. So again, a step in the investigation like this that produces an image,
okay,
has a description of any, as Jim was so expertly talking about some of the potential criminal tools that might be involved. Those are the things that prompt people to think about, oh, yes, maybe, or overhearing conversations. So there is that mix of the kind of public attention, public spectacle that always comes with these high profile cases. And at the same time, within that, there is the potential for real actionable information where people know something, saw something that was different. And of course, there is the nature of the high profile. The federal government has placed a lot of resources here. They want to be able to demonstrate progress. They want to be able to show that their tools are effective. And there will be more searches in this community. They've prepared us for that, telling us that will be happening. That may connect to this. I suppose when we learn more and play this backwards after we get more information, it'll be interesting to see which teams were directly involved and how critical that computer expertise and the ability to work with the host companies of some of these home security products and so forth, the cell companies.
Okay, so again, for those that are coming through, just reminding everybody that we do have some breaking news that came through by NBC News. Law enforcement is expected to release surveillance photos showing a potential subject in the ongoing investigation into the taking of Nancy Guthrie as soon as this afternoon, according to 2 senior law enforcement. This is being repeated again and again and again by all over Twitter at this point. I do wonder if it's somebody in the Circle K situation, because that was also put out there. I did find the Disgruntled Men podcast when they talk about this specific thing. Let's hit play on this.
Team said that they reached a dead end in trying to figure out where this came from, and it's very
well. That I would believe, because the sophistication of routing the emails through kind of a washing machine, so to speak, I think is a lot more sophisticated than what the Bitcoin tracing is.
And you may be right in the Bitcoin, I don't know, but in terms of the tracing the email, we couldn't do it. And my sense from the conversation, and I will say, this is just above my skill set to understand what they were all talking about, because it was very technical, but it sounded like everybody was stymied in terms of figuring that out.
Did they get a location where they hit a dead end?
We thought there was a location, and then it was so sophisticated that kind of blew up. So they don't have a location. They do not have a location. At least at the time we spoke with them, they didn't. And I don't know that they're going to be able to. My IT team thinks they can't.
Ooh, okay. So they went as far as to trying to kind of locate the email and everything to see where that email kind of came from, right? But they couldn't even reroute that. It sounds the same as the what is it? The address as well. So that's interesting. Okay, so if they're having, I mean, they got they got their own resources, Fox and TMZ and whatnot. It does make you wonder, well, where is a lot of this is coming from? You said still confused as to who actually reported her missing. They said the church people contacted the family members when she didn't show up, but no one from the church has spoken out saying that they were concerned. Kate Tiffany, we actually determined that that wasn't even the case because she never actually went to a physical building to the church. She was doing online church and meeting up with a friend. And then I guess she didn't show up to that. And then that's kind of what started the ball. They hadn't seen her. So that's interesting to me. Does anyone know where we can find the POA info, the actual documents? I don't know. Nothing has been released yet. They aren't even really interested in the money. These ransom notes are interested in media reaction and to make Savannah suffer in public. Well, that's what I said, Muddy Fabi. I have to kind of wonder, what is the end game for the people that are sending the notes? The simple fact that they can't find it, and then they can't find the people that are doing the ransom, and there's just so many moving parts to this. Hey, Joe, did Savannah Guthrie do any reporting on Epstein? Yes, she actually interviewed some of the Epstein survivors. Are they trying to scare people involved and shutting up just like Virginia? That's been a theory that's been out there that at this point I wouldn't put past anybody. But yeah, I mean, she did interview some of the victims. She had done some stuff, and I wasn't sure if she was going to continue to work on any of that anymore. You said, I said this yesterday, and somebody else's podcast said that she was moved underground through an underground tunnel because Arizona has a bunch of them, and apparently there's something close. Well, we just read from a high school teacher. We read from Abby Blabby's post. There was a high school teacher who apparently said that there is a lot of underground bunkers and septic tanks. So there's a lot of there's potential movement to be underground. So the person, he's like an ex-high school teacher, he kind of speculated that not only is it somebody close, potential family, somebody close, but also somebody who understands kind of and has been observing for a while, is keeping her close to kind of gauge the situation back and forth and be able to connect and disconnect and keeping her close. So it wouldn't surprise me if that's the case. And he literally said that there's a lot of bunkers and septic tanks, and it's all underground. So much so that there was like a museum or something like that. I said, Lord have mercy. What in the El Chapo is going on down there? Like, that's crazy work. Shout out to everybody in Arizona. But y'all really have like some underground stuff, like the bunkers and stuff. And I think everybody does. Every state has their little secret stuff and everything. I never been invited. I'm probably not going to go. So that's why. Definitely not a regular kidnapping, right? Yes, a contractor would know about the local bunkers and septics. He would know. And so they started pulling a lot of the older like maps and what is it, tax rolls, I think that's what he called them, all kinds of things to kind of put things together. Now, don't forget that one picture where you have the FBI that's like parked and they have this whole little map out that's like taped to the car and everything. You said, call up Uncle Chapo for an exclusive, Brad, but no, he's busy over there in the Colorado prison. Yeah, he is. You thought about Chapo. That's all I could think about is that, yes. And they reported the Uber driver who apparently dropped her off. This is what Ellie was saying. It's like, well, one thing we know for a fact is that they said that they did see her at dinner. Somebody had to drop her off, right? So, yeah. That's all I could think about. Let's see. You said Arizona and New Mexico have insane timeout systems and bunkers, tons of shows in Discovery. Really? That's crazy work. Oh, so those were septic tanks in the door. Well, I don't know. I'm not an expert. That's why I was wondering. So when that high school teacher said he started pulling all kinds of old maps, I showed you guys a picture. And he started saying, like, look, very likely if somebody's going to keep her underground, they haven't found her now. She's very likely kept in one of these areas. And nobody's really thinking to look, and they're keeping her close by. Or maybe they have looked. But this is like a historic thing that they have there. So there's that. It would be more easy to move her underground. Yes. but it is the manhole by the front door where the blood was at. That's a great point. It would be easy to move her underground. No detection. Who's down there? So there is that. Okay, so let me get into this because the angry podcast men, let's see, they start talking about the emails, the routing, the Bitcoin. This is where the Bitcoin language came from. It was from TMZ.
I want to get into
Does the letter itself make a ransom demand, and if so, what kind of currency?
Well, they're asking for it in Bitcoin, and they gave a Bitcoin address, and it's a legit address. The problem with Bitcoin is you just cannot find out who it's going to. And so,
well, they've got, that's where I push back a little bit, because I know from actually 2 cases I have right now that they don't want you to know this, but the government now has ways. They've got a front row seat, for lack of a better term. They've told me it's like watching a marathon. They can watch it go as it goes down the chain, so to speak, and they can generally follow it to a wallet.
Huh.
Well, see, the first part of that I believe to be true, and that's what I've heard as well, that they can follow the chain. What I'm told is they still can't determine who it's going to. But maybe you're right. I don't.
Yeah, they say that. I based on what I've seen in government discovery, I'm not buying that at all. I think they now know, and I think they've got access to digital wallets and things of that nature. I think they can trace all that. It reminds me of when they went and got Maduro. Nobody had ever heard of that kind of eardrum disabling kind of weapons that we have. I can tell you from discovery in other cases that they have a sophisticated ability to track this stuff. And by the way, I think
I agree with this. Y'all went to a whole different country to go get Maduro, and we don't have the sophistication for the tracking of this situation. I may not 1000 always % agree with Garagos on this one, but all the time, but I do agree on this one. Like, I think that the government, in my opinion, y'all better be careful what I say because they might shut us down. I think that, there's a lot of ish that they sit on and they never tell us and they don't say anything because they're not obligated to. People think that we know everything, and then when stuff happens and it goes down, and then we don't. So like I agree with Garagos on this one here. To rescue this lady, to get her, to find her, I wouldn't put it past it. Come on now, like, this is crazy work.
It's one of the reasons that blockchain technology and all of that is actually being embraced.
If you're right, then it makes even a better case for the Guthrie family to pay the money, even without proof of life, if indeed the feds could track it down, arrest the person, and recover the money. If you're right.
Well, that's why I've had this situation, not often, but a couple of times. And, normally it is in a ransomware kind of a situation or cyber warfare, things of that nature. But in this case, I would be surprised if they weren't engaged in some way, shape, or form. I think that's also why the FBI was so curious and questioning you and trying to figure it all out.
Well, I put my IT team on the phone with the FBI, and they spent a fair amount of time talking, and my IT team said that they reached a dead end in trying to figure out where this came from. And it's very
well, that I would believe, because the sophistication of routing the emails through kind of a washing machine, so to speak, I think is a lot more sophisticated than what the Bitcoin tracing is.
And you may be right in the Bitcoin, I don't know, but in terms of the tracing the email, we couldn't do it. And my sense from the conversation, and I will say, this is just above my skill set to understand what they were all talking about, because it was very technical, but it sounded like everybody was stymied in terms of figuring that out.
Did they get a location where they hit a dead end?
We thought there was a location, and then it was so sophisticated that kind of blew up. So they
were looking for, even TMZ was looking for a location through their IT team. They were like, we gonna do what we have to do. Thank you, Mar, for the $10. Thank you for some coffee, Rabbit. Thank you for always reporting with respect. No, I appreciate it. Thank you. That does help the channel out. Thank you for supporting. Let me shout out some people. Okay, no, I'm not behind. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. You can also support by hitting the like button, guys. Help us get to 100,000 subscribers. We're working on that. We are 5 years on YouTube. We just hit our 5-year mark. Shout out to us. We did it. And we did it. So we're going to keep working. Okay. So let me tell you an interesting article that just dropped. Lord have mercy. All right. Put a one in the chat if you agree with this. Should the entire Guthrie family take a polygraph, including Savannah? Put a one in the chat if you agree with this. Maybe I should do a poll. If you agree with this, should the entire, I think the dog too, I don't know. They said the entire family. I mean, that, pets are family too. Should the entire family take a polygraph test? Let me see if I could do a poll. Should the entire, oh Lord, look at all those ones. Should the entire family, including Savannah, take a poly? Man, I never seen so many ones all at once. Yes or no? Okay. Now, if you want to argue about it, I'm just going to put a yes or no. Go vote. Let me see how this poll looks. All right. Go vote and hit the like button. Recro says, I don't know. They're not reliable. Okay. Ava says, not admissible sometimes. Now, this is Arizona. I think it's New Mexico that allows polygraphs. So keep that in mind. Some states do allow polygraphs. We actually found out through the Timothy Busfield, which that's a whole different situation that's also brewing. Well, Lexi, the reason I ask is there's a new article that was just released, and it's asking that very question. It's actually making a statement. So I want us to get into that. Should the entire Guthrie family take a polygraph, including Savannah? You said, don't you think that they may have done this already? Says potentially, maybe they already did, right? Who knows? Apparently, the New York Post, everybody's favorite article, everybody's favorite publication, y'all. Entire Guthrie family, including Savannah, should take a polygraph test in bizarre Nancy Guthrie case. This is what I think is Greg Gutfield. I don't know how to say his last name. Mr. Greg says, okay. So Fox News, Greg has called Nancy Guthrie's family, including daughter Savannah Guthrie, to submit to polygraph tests, as he said that nothing makes sense in the bewildering case of the matriarch's disappearance. Have they given everyone a polygraph? Have they given everyone polygraphs? I don't believe they have. I think Savannah might want to volunteer to do a poly and says, I just don't want people to speculate that I might be involved. Okay, this is what Mr. Greg says. What do y'all think? Let me know. Wouldn't hurt? Okay, you said it wouldn't hurt. You said I wouldn't do it. Okay. He said purported ransom notes that have been sent to media outlets demanding bitcoins for 84-year-old safe return are suspicious. Now, that I do agree with. I don't know if I necessarily agree with the polygraphs, but okay. I do think that the ransom pieces is a ruse because the start and the finish of it don't make any sense. If you really want to get the money, you don't go to TMZ. You don't go to Harvey Levin. You go to the wealthy family who does it behind the scenes, and you, the public, may never hear about it. Lord have mercy. Oh my goodness. Thoughts and opinions? Let me know. Thank you so much for the 199. I remember your first lives and the drama with JY. I don't remember any racists. We don't talk about, the crusty, canceled racists in this channel. We don't. But thank you so much for the 199. I appreciate it. But thank you. Shout out to everybody in the chat. You said if my mom was missing, I think my nerves would fail me. Yeah, I mean, anything goes in a polygraph test. So I don't know. Where do you guys land? Let me see what the poll says. Lord have mercy. It says, hold up. Let me see. Should the entire family, including Savannah, take a poly? 82% said yes. Okay. 18% said no. Ooh. Look at this poll. The people that said no, can y'all speak in the chat? Let me know why you think. I'm curious because I'm kind of on the fence on the polygraph stuff. Because Because I don't think that a polygraph is necessarily going to tell you the truth of anything. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think if somebody's saying to you that they didn't do anything, and until you find otherwise, like evidence or something like that, then it's a whole different story, right? What do y'all think? Let me know. I just don't know how I feel about the poly. You said I'd be the first in line to take a poly if I were a family member. Los Federales says no need to speculate. You said I don't think it adds value. Okay. I don't think I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that we can. Did they release it yet? Let's look. I don't know if we really need to. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Hold up. Right from Cash Patel. Here we go. Here we go. We have it. Hold up. Damn. This thing refreshed right away. Hold up. Let me remove myself and let's put it right over here. Okay. Cash Patel. From the FBI. He says new images in the search for Nancy Guthrie. Over the last 8 days, the FBI and Pima County Sheriff's Department have been working closely with our private sector partners to continue to recover any images or video footage from Nancy Guthrie's home that may have been lost. Oh my God. 1. Oh my God. 2. Look at it. It has the Nest sticker. 3. 4. Oh my God. Let me see if I can blow this up a little bit bigger and make myself smaller, guys. Yo. Oh my gosh. We got to make this bigger. We got to make this bigger. Why aren't you letting me? Let's see. Here we go. Well, why is his teeth so shiny? Or does he have something in his mouth? Why are his teeth so shiny? So wearing a backpack, and is it 2 different individuals? Here's one. Yo, look at the color of their, see, there's one individual. This looks a little bit lighter unless it's just a light, okay? Ski mask. Is this when he took the camera or was it smashed? Knocking the camera? 1 individual or 2? Yo. Wow. You said he has a flashlight in his mouth? It's a flashlight? He doesn't have bare feet. No. Oh man, oh man, oh man. You have got to be kidding me. Hold up, y'all. I'm trying to see if it's the same individual or a different individual. Now, you notice that he's wearing like a, let me go back a little bit. Because of the lighting, I mean, this could very well look like 2 different individuals, but it could just be one, right? Okay, lighting there. I'm trying to see that if in the clothing it has different details that would lead me to believe maybe it's 2 different individuals. So like in the sweater and the backpack, for example, it's got this little stripe on the front. And then if you go here, yeah, he's got the same stripe right there. And yeah, he's got like the flashlight right there. Oh my God. This poor lady, man. Yo. Yeah, no, I think it's 1 person. You think it's 2 people? You said you can see the black backpack in both. Yeah, I think it's just the lighting. Those eyeballs are a giveaway. I don't know, man, but yeah, I mean, it's like, I don't know if it's a dead giveaway of anything. Right. It's frightening. 2 people, one is male. How do you know one is female? I mean, how do you know the sexes of the individuals? You said one thin is a woman. Y'all look at the shape. Is that the person in the socks? Well, let me see if I can. I'm going to try to pull the picture out. That way we can zoom. Give me 1 second. I bet you these are now available. New footage. Items. New release. Dang. Subjects. Man, oh man. This is just insane. See if I can pull it out. I'm in shock, yo. See, Brighton also has the photos as well. I'm gonna see if I can. Okay, there's one photo. I got one out. I'm gonna have to. I want to do like a collage because it'll be easier to kind of look at all 4 at once. But see if I can. Okay, so here's the first photo, and we're going to share. I'm going to share it over here with my desktop. Give me 1 second. Sorry, guys. All right, so let's see if we can. Oh my gosh, hold up. Let's see. I want to drag this. How come I can't drag? It's like making me. So you guys are saying that it's a male and a female. I'm like, where are y'all seeing the sexes? Because I don't see it. Yeah, it's not letting me drag. I don't know why it's not letting me use the tools. Give me 1 second. File. Let's see. Zoom in, zoom out. Get my toolbar out. No, it's not letting me use the drag. I think it's just because of the way the picture is shown. Okay, so let's stop. Let me see if I can pull the other one real quick. Maybe this one might be a little bit easier to. Yeah, here we go. I think it's if I can do a collage of this, it might be easier. He's like grabbing grass or trying to cover the camera and stuff like that. I mean, he or she or whatever is literally trying not, they're trying not to be detected. Hold up, let me catch up on the comments. He said, the first pic is something on his feet, you think? Or at its feet? You said, yeah, he's holding flowers, something to cover the camera, right? Yeah, that was at the door, definitely. Hold up. See if I don't. Yeah, the flashlight. There you go. You see the shape of the flashlight there. Okay. He's grabbing something. Flowers, bushes, whatever, from his hand. You said it's 2 different people? Y'all believe it's 2 different people? You said facial recognition has been out for some time. I'm surprised the FBI doesn't have eye recognition, right? Something. Phoenix Books, thank you so much for your 11-month membership, love. Thank you, love. Really appreciate it. Jazzy, thank you so much for the $5. One person, back straps have different reflective strips. Some strips, same strips on the chest. Pack strips look stiff. News runner pack strip because of strips. Are those flowers? You said the strips. Okay, we're going to look at another picture. So just to kind of zoom in a little bit more. So there's the strips, right? Just look at the location of the strips. And what caught my attention was this stripe right here, right there. Y'all see that? And then he's got like, doesn't look like a big flashlight, maybe damn, this, you know what this reminds me of? The Zodiac killer. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know how like the Zodiac, they had that little hand paper drawing of the Zodiac? That like the eyes, Lord have mercy, reflective strips on purpose. I might have to I can invert that images, but I don't know if I'm able to do that right now. Hold up. Now let me look at the other one, okay? I made my background black so people have a easier time to see it. Now, let me look at it's 4 pictures total. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Hold up. He's covering. Y'all be knowing the sexes. I don't know how you determine that's a woman. You got to say more. Why? What would make you think it's in the eyes? Yo, I can't even see the eyes like that. Said it looks like a woman in the picture. Well, say more. Say more. You guys think it's a woman? How? The shape? I'm trying to figure out if he's still wearing the same outfit as the other person. No worries, Jazzy. No worries. Okay. Hold up. I'm trying to see if they're armed or something. You said eyebrows? Okay. Hold up. Now, let me stop sharing this. Let's go to the other image. Okay. Because it's a total of 4. Now, we saw that one. We saw that one. Okay. Here's this one. Okay, this is a little bit closer look, okay? Look at the outfit, look at the reflector stuff. Remember the little gear and stuff like that? Okay? Is that a mustache? Right here. Is this a mustache? What is that? I mean, you see his mouth, his or hers. Yeah, it's a mustache. I see a mustache. This looks like a mustache to me. Facial hair. Yeah, Flojo. That's what I said. I was like, well, this person has a mustache. Thank you, Flojo, for the $1.99. Look at this. I mean, even if you go, hold up. Even if you go up a little bit, see this, the upper lips right there. He's got a stash right there. Okay, let's go down a little bit. I'm gonna try to zoom out. Okay. Same gloves, same jacket. Okay. Same gloves, same jacket. Now hold up. That was that photo. We're gonna go to the very first one again, because I feel like we kind of missed it on the first one. Here we go. In the first one, it also looks like he's got a stash too. Hold up, let me show y'all. The first one, okay? It's the first one. Reflectors. Look at that. Okay. This specific beanie that he's, or this, it's not a beanie, but it's like a head thing. It's very specific. Do y'all notice that it's like, it's almost like it's meant to reflect any kind of flash, any kind of like, it looks very specific for that. Like to give a reflection off. This is the front door. This is the first photo that we saw, y'all. Now this is the bottom of his feet. Okay. You know what this is giving me? I'm going to say it. This is giving me, shout out to the utility workers, but this is giving me like utility. Look at all the gear. I've been scoping up for a while. I've been watching what's going on with this lady. I know who she's related to. Been watching her. I drive a white van type of situation. You know, nothing to see here. Just working on some electrical work type of situation. Yeah, this is what it's given me. Hold up. It's giving me somebody that works in. Hold up. Let me go back to the flower one where we zoomed in a little bit more. Flower one, here it is. Now it's kind of hard to see the stash because he has the reflector there, or the what is it? The flashlight to his mouth. Ski mask, but the ski mask is specific. It's like meant to make sure that nobody catches this guy. Nobody's gonna see me. Look at this. Same jacket. It's literally one person. I don't know. You guys see two different people. I see one person. Okay. Very specific kind of gear. A professional. Yeah. Yeah. The stash, he didn't cover very well. Okay. Stash didn't cover very well. Let me show you guys again. Let's see. Is this it right here? Yeah. He's got a stash. He didn't shave. The day that he did this, he didn't shave. Look at this. Very specific kind of stash too. You see how it outlines, like it's like right there, right above the lip. You can't really miss it. Right here. It's one person. It looks like one person. It's the same person, y'all. Some of you guys said man and woman. Yeah. You said you believe it's a heavy shadow, not a mustache. I think it's a stash. It looks like a stash to me, but I could be wrong. Oh man. You said set a zoom circle to his feet. Okay, hold up. Let me see if I can do to his feet. Stop. Let me see. I don't know if I can circle right now because I don't have the. What kind of shoes is he wearing? They look like moon boots. Or Uggs. What's in his hand? Right? What's in his hand? What is that? They don't look like, they look like, you think they look like sneakers? They kind of look like boots to me. Well, you can't really see a car parked here, right? Like, so where did he take her? Yeah, that's a good point. Do y'all notice? I don't see any cars here. You said it looks like Fox News did a press conference. I don't think anything has been set up. Let me see. You're going to have to, let's see. I'm going to be checking out and seeing if there is a press conference, but I don't see a press conference yet. Okay. All right, guys, I do have to let you go because I got to go tend to baby bunny. But let me shout out some people. I will be back live probably sooner than later. Let me shout out, not today, Cindy Shea. Thank you so much. Not today. Not Cindy Shea. Thank you so much for the 199. Someone recently came to paint the roof. That's right. You're right. That roof looks very well done. Tatted Lily Tiger, thank you for the $2. Looks like Fox News did a press conference. Well, I will follow up. Keep your notifications on, guys. I see BJ's live. Go show her some love and support. I will see you guys in a little bit, but I have to go pick up baby bunny. All right. Bye, guys. We'll be live later, sooner than later.